My name's David, and the chronological Bible reading for August 7th is Jeremiah chapters 1 through 3. Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, was the son of Hilkiah, whom we know was a high priest in the temple during the time of King Josiah. 2 Chronicles 34 tells us in Josiah's 12th year, he began cleansing Judah and Jerusalem. And now in the 13th year, the word of Yahweh comes to this young man, Isaiah. Can you imagine being a son of the high priest who was working directly with the king, trying to clean up the temple, trying to clean up the land, and then God appears to you and gives you a word saying, I am appointing you over the nations and over kingdoms. I am appointing you to uproot, to tear down, to destroy, and to demolish, to build and to plant. Don't be afraid, Jeremiah. As a matter of fact, if you are afraid of them, I will make you cower before them. Jeremiah was set apart because it was the word of God that was placed within him. He was humble because he was submitted to what God had for him to do. The people around him likely did not think he was humble. He was likely criticized and hated and persecuted for sharing the truth of the incoming judgment. He didn't come across as being humble, but he had the truth of God in him, and forsaking his own reputation and even his own well-being, he did what God called him to do. And that's the true picture of humility. In chapter 2, the word of Yahweh came to Jeremiah and said, go announce directly to Jerusalem, this is what Yahweh says. What fault did your ancestors find with me, that they went so far away chasing after worthless idols? They even stopped asking, where is Yahweh? When he was told to go directly to Jerusalem, it was likely straight to the throne of Josiah, who we know was a righteous king. But how did Josiah receive those words, and how did Jeremiah feel knowing that he was going to meet with the king who could throw him in prison or have him executed, who could fire his father from being the high priest in the temple? In chapter 2, verse 8, it says the priests quit asking, where is Yahweh? It's like today's pastors in the Christian church not wondering where God is. The experts in the law no longer knew me, says God. That's like the seminary professors of religious studies in our public universities, bringing our children to a place where they can no longer trust the word of God because they've been lied to and indoctrinated. How can these people who claim to be the experts in the religious law not know the one who wrote the law? No wonder the rulers rebelled when the people who were supposed to be teaching the law and the people who were supposed to know it the best forsook it and rewrote it. The same thing these people did with the word of God back then, they are doing with the word of God today. And they are also doing it with other documents such as the Constitution of the United States of America. I don't bring this up because the Constitution is in any way equal to the Bible. I only bring it up to show the parallels of how things haven't really changed. And those who would detract from the Word of God 2,700 years ago are operating in the same way today, because it's the same spirit at work within them. It is the spirit of Antichrist. They are against the truth. They are opposed to what is true, and they are leading God's people astray, bringing judgment upon themselves, but also on the people who are influenced by them. The prophets prophesied by Baal and followed useless idols. How can a prophet possibly prophesy accurately if they don't know the heart of the one they claim to represent. People who want to claim, and they might even think that they are legitimately speaking on behalf of the Most High God Yahweh, but they have exchanged Yahweh for a false god named Lord. It is time for the people of God to run away and plug their ears rather than be influenced by people who claim to prophesy in the name of the Lord, but they deny the name of Yahweh, the actual God who is king over all. My people have exchanged their glory for useless idols, Yahweh says. Be appalled at this. Be shocked. Be utterly desolated. My people have committed two great sins. They have abandoned me. And then they've gone and dug cisterns for themselves. But the cisterns are broken and they can hold no water. They are thirsting for something, and they cannot meet their need because they have forsaken the one who placed that thirst within them. There's only one who satisfies, and it's the living God, the God of Israel. Know and see how evil it is for you to abandon Yahweh your God. Yahweh declares, I will not look on you with anger. I am unfailing in my love for you. I will not be angry forever. Only acknowledge your guilt. As Jeremiah writes in chapter 3, verse 25, let us lie down in our shame. Let our disgrace cover us. We have sinned against Yahweh our God, both we and our ancestors. From the time of our youth even to this day, we have not obeyed Yahweh our God. That's all God's looking for. He wants us to acknowledge our sin and ask Him to forgive us. He wants us to go in a new direction, but I'm telling you from my own experience and the truth that is in the Bible, we can't do it in our own strength. It's only by believing in His goodness and asking for Him to give us grace. You can pray, Father, help me change. I'm doing these things I don't want to do. Help me change. I'm feeling this way I don't want to feel. I know it's wrong. Help me change. Help me to desire good things. Take authority over yourself and speak to yourself, as David did in the Psalms. Why are you downcast, O my soul? Proclaim goodness. I will dwell in the house of Yahweh forever. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Claim these promises from the Word of God. Apply them to yourself and enjoy God's eternal blessings. May He bless you richly. Thank you for being on this journey with me through the Word of God in 2024. We will see you tomorrow.